because we are a living manifestation of Vaastu Purusha. We are a living mandala. In addition to these elements, there are also what you might call flagpole people. Now, we know that this is not really, this Dwajam is not really flagpole. It's really the backbone of the universe, the Mulastan. That's what the real meaning is. Has become, by misunderstanding, to be called flagpole. But we can think of what a person who's like a flagpole person would be like. They see things, they're at the top of the flagpole and they're looking out and they kind of see things with a very broad perspective, right? Do you know people like that? They sort of have the big picture, right? And actually they act in that way with the big picture. You know, they're not bothered by details. That's their energy. Then we have smoke people. People who are kind of, they're smoky. It's kind of like, you can't tell really what's going on with them, you know? But you got to watch it because they can flame up, right? And when they do, they leave kind of residue around, right? Some ash and smoke. Each one of these two are qualities of Brahman. They're qualities of Brahman. Then we have the lion. The energy of the lion. The lion will gobble you up. So potent. And yet, this lion brings us this yama. This ability to see how our present actions will affect us in the future and affect the environment in the future. Powerful lion. Gobble you up. Yet with this gift. You know? Each one of these has a gift to bring us. So then we have dog. Dog is kind of a friendly thing. Now, dogs have a different relationship with humans in India. But look at the dogs here. You know, look at these guys over there, kind of laying down, friendly, wagging their tails. They're a friend of man, right? They generally like everybody. And they protect us. They have these good qualities. And yet, don't get one mad at you. He'll bite you, right? Then we have the bull. The bull is powerful. You put a bull in your house, it'll destroy the house. And yet the bull has a certain kind of regality. You know, there's certain kind of royalty. And they usually bring money. They bring wealth. One bull can produce a lot of calves. You know, he can produce a lot of calves. And then we have the donkey. And the donkey is kind of a little bit stubborn. You know, they're a little stubborn. But boy, do they work for you. You know, they have their own mind and they're stubborn. But boy, will they get the job done. Elephant. Huge. Royal. Looking at an elephant in the wild is a thrilling experience. It's thrilling. And yet they can be domesticated. They can bring wealth. They can protect us. They've been used in war. The elephant they're high up, so they see around, they look around, you know. The dog and the donkey are kind of close to the ground, and, you know, they kind of see what's here. The elephant's up there. You know, it's like the flagpole person, it's even higher, you know. And they have a big perspective, an overall perspective. All of the crow. Now, people think the crow is kind of a pesky thing. But you know, the crow, there's a whole Shastric chapter on the caw of a crow. The sound of the crow. And they're used to prophesize. Because the crow has a certain attunement with the cosmic waves. And so when a crow gives a certain kind of caw, it's that sound is coming from the cosmic form, from their Atman. And that sound projects outward. That literally foretells of another vibration that's coming down the road. You see? That's why the rishis use this crow as a foretelling, because of the direct connection between their Atman and the universal force. And the crow can see things from high. And they also can see it on the low ground. They see it from all levels, you see. So these are all qualities of Vaastu Purusha. How many know a flagpole person? You know somebody who has that kind of broad perspective? How about a dog person who's kind of friendly and, you know people. As I'm saying this, I'm sure people can come to your mind that have these different qualities. These qualities exist for one purpose. And that is because Brahman is so in love with its own beauty that it wants to experience itself, its beauty. And what is its beauty? Its infinite qualities. So it manifests those infinite qualities everywhere in this creation. And we're fortunate to know how to manifest certain infinite qualities of Brahman through our building. We're learning about the Shruti, the mathematical access point. Bearing in mind that every one of these qualities, there may be good in them and there may be bad in them. There's good and bad about what we think is good and bad about everything. But they're not good or bad. They're qualities of Brahman. There is no good or bad with Brahman. It simply is what it is. We, as students of Brahman, the first verse of the Brahma Sutra is, now we will undertake the study of Brahman. That's kind of a paraphrase. We begin the study of Brahman. And the only place we can begin the study of Brahman is here. And we can see how Brahman manifests through us. The best initial study of Brahman is our own self. Looking at our own qualities, looking at our own character, and then appreciating everything about ourselves as Brahman. What we see as good, what we see as bad, what we see as ugly are simply qualities of Brahman. We can have no choice but to love those things. Do you understand? We have no choice. How can we not love God? Everything about you is a quality of Brahman. You can do nothing but love that. In the same way, everything about every other person is a quality of Brahman. How they talk, how they act, what they do, what they wear, what they say, is a beloved quality of Brahman. We have a special task here as children of Mayan, ancestors of Mayan, adopted or otherwise, or traditional. You know, Stapedi told me his sub-clan for the Vishwakarma sub-clan, that I never knew this, that there's a sub-clan of weavers that are a sub-group of the Vishwakarmas. And their job is to weave the fabric of the Lord.
To the Lord and make the umbrella for the carving with the golden threads.
Yeah.
To put the gold threads.
The umbrella with the golden threads.
Threads.
Atmic expansion. You see, the Vishwakarmas knew that we have this cube that's at rest. But the Lord's urge is to expand into this pyramidal form. This umbrella with golden threads emanating from it. The frequencies, you know. And so, that's the decoration, the ornamentation of the divine. See, you are an ornamentation of the divine. Do you understand that?
It's called Pitambar Vastra. Pitambar Vastra. It is a golden thread weaved, carved design in the fabrics and the umbrella and the dress codes.
This beautiful weaving the threads of the divine, of the Lord.
The Lord and Lordess.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing as Vaastu consultants, people learning Vaastu. We are weaving the threads of the divine. We are joining his clan as weavers of the threads of the divine. The Vaastu Purusha Mandala, you see. We're raising this mandala on the earth. You see. And with that knowledge that we are in the same clan now, we are in this group of people who have embraced this divine work. We are children of Mayan, brothers and sisters, family. We must accept ourselves first, and then accept each other in every way, no matter how we perceive each other. That whatever that perception is, we must turn that perception into love. Whatever we view each other, we must turn it into love. Because that quality that we see in the other is a quality of the divine. The reason you see it is that you're able to see qualities of the divine. Do you understand? If you do something that, if you have a quality and I say, oh, I don't like that quality, or you're being a certain way, I have to go, oh, wait. This is Brahman. Brahman is there for me to experience Brahman. That quality is there. I take that quality here. I drop it into my own Atman. I feel bliss. I let all of those feelings I have fall into my Atman with no resistance. Atman will gobble it up, devour it, because it's its own self. It longs to experience. And we will then experience the joy of Brahman. This is a technique that's in your Cornerstone textbook. We will feel the worst possible feeling we could have about another person. If we let that come, drop it into our Atman, we will feel so much happiness, I'm telling you. Instead of resisting it and saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. Instead of resisting it, drop it in. And let ourselves experience divine bliss. I guarantee you will. Especially if you're in a Vaastu building. One of the things that I teach on the temple tour is that you're in this beautiful building. Oh, the bliss, it feels so good. You start to be attuned to that bliss. Then we see Durga stamping on a demon, pulling his guts out. We go, what is this? Here I'm in this beautiful temple, and there's this deity there pulling the guts out of somebody. How is that supposed to be joyful? If we allow ourselves to have that experience, we're in the vibration of Brahman. We let ourselves have that experience, drop it in, we will feel bliss. I guarantee it. And then every time that happens, you drop it in. Then you go out into the world, you see something ugly, you'll be trained to drop it here, and you'll feel bliss from that. You see, there's nothing ugly in the world. There's no one bad in the world. It's Brahman. So, anytime we get a feeling, I have students that get angry at me all the time. It's the way of a teaching, you know. You didn't do your homework. But I did that. No, you didn't do your homework. It's black and white. You didn't do your homework. You know. They get mad, and I just go, it's so beautiful. You know? It's so beautiful. Everyone in this group is so beautiful. And to be cherished by each of us. And let go of any feelings of differences. You know, my two students here, my advanced students, he's been to India many times. And he has felt, we discussed this, and this is the first time that he's felt at one with Indians. That he's felt accepted as part of someone. You have accepted both of these students. You've accepted me. Accept each other in the same way. Let's make a pact together that when we're offended by someone, we take it inside, drop it into Brahman, and thank God for the bliss. And if you feel to speak to that person, do. If you speak to others about it, guess what will happen? You'll lose the bliss. You're sending it out instead of taking it in. Allowing your Brahman to have that experience. Every experience we have is for the joy of Brahman. It wants to experience its own beauty. War, pestilence, rape, murder, Bollywood. Bollywood movies, which I love Bollywood movies. Comedy. Jokes. All these things are only for the sake of Brahman. We are moving into an age now. It's so beautiful. That Brahman has said, I've had enough. I want to have a new experience. I want to experience my own bliss in this reality. In this material world, I want to experience my bliss. And so now Brahman wants these Vaastu buildings so that it can experience its bliss through us. Because its bliss is also a quality. So the whole time is changing. The age is changing. And at first it's like walking through mud, you know? And so we have obstacles. We have to push. We have to keep moving forward. Keep going. Walk through the mud. Whatever comes in our life, we have to move forward. Whatever resistance we set up for ourselves. You know, we have all kinds of resistance we set up against coming forward with this knowledge. You are the ones. I rely on you. I have no one else. I have no one else. Only you. Only Om students. I have no one else to talk to carry this forward. You are it. You and the other students. I'm alone in the world, but for you. And that's the truth. Except for Brahman. And in that case, I'm not alone at all. I have all qualities of the world, you see.
The Karam is talking.
Pardon?
The donkey is saying yes.
The donkey. Great.
Yeah, generally